welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan. Just giving you heads up, folks, this might be a short one, or it might be a regular length one. We're kind of on a weird time schedule here, so we'll figure out as we go along.
Yeah, well, you'll know.
You'll know when you see it.
You know when you'll see the
it's
time.
A mystery. It's a mystery to us. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you'll know exactly how long it is when you look at the time frame, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just kind of podcasting, waiting for Ryan to get a ride back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Gotta get back to San Francisco, the place where I like to sit down.
I'd like to say that there was there's that Scott McKenzie song, When You Go to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that song.
I think that song is mostly talking about Haight-Ashbury. I really think they should have an updated version of the song. It's exactly the same, but between the verses, like, when you go to San Francisco, yo, where the fuck's my money? Be sure to wear flowers in your hair. Hail Satan!
Oh, why were you fucking bums?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like, just take actual audio you might get from Haight Streets or Stanton, that area.
This kind of reminds me, like, in San Francisco, when I was reading those Before Watchmen comics, there's a part, it's in the Silk Spectre ones, and, she's living in San Francisco in, like, 1966, like, super Haight-Ashbury hippiness, and it gets to the point where, the old Silk Spectre, she's like, she calls up Hollis and the comedian. She's like, somebody go get my daughter. I don't know what's going on in there, but you gotta go get him. So there's two different ways people are gonna deal with trying to get her back.
Hollis and, Hollis...
So Hollis, the old night owl, and he
right.
shows up there and he's all like, just like, because now he's kind of old, and he's walking around like, what the fuck happened to San Francisco? It's so fucking different. Like, he's like, almost like, this is not what I remember it.
Oh, Hollis Mason's.
Yeah, Hollis Mason.
Okay,
so,
cool.
there.
I was going to say his full name to remember.
Yeah, that's why I said old night owl, so it made sense. But it's just kind of funny just because he's just walking around like this old man, like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, why is it all different? He's on the phone talking to her. He's like, oh my god. He's like, there was like hippies and drugs and all kind. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. This was in San Francisco, I remember. But this is the part too. Is then when the comedian goes there, this is his way of trying to get Lori to come back. He takes her boyfriend or whatever and has him tied up. And he's beating the shit out of him and everything like that. He's like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're not gonna go back to her. You're never gonna go back to her. In fact, you're never gonna see her again because this is how it is. You're not good for her. She's not good for you. Okay, we got that. He's like smoking a cigar the whole time. And then he goes, he's like, here's this letter. Now you're going to write that in your fucking writing, and I'm going to leave it there for you. You got that? He's like, well, I don't want to. You fucking write it like you said.
Is he some dirty hippie too?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's not like a bad guy, but he is just like a dirty hippie. Like, yeah, just kind of like sleep on the mattress and like hang out. Fucking make t-shirts in the daytime. It's like super like, they're like, there's like 4 of them or so, and they all live in like a little commune and whatnot, and they all kind of like very hippie ways. They actually had some kind of cool stuff. It's that kind of weird thing, like, you wouldn't think the Silk Spectre ones, like, you'd be like, oh, that's probably a cool, like, section of the comics, but it's actually like, oh, that was actually cooler than I thought it was. Mm-hmm. And they have this part, too, with this mobster guy comes in, he's talking to this drug dealer. He's like, okay, this is the problem with these hippie kids. They don't buy fucking shit. They're so content with having nothing. They're so content with all this used stuff and free things they find. He's like, at least the fucking 1950s rockabilly kids, like, at least they still like to dress nice and buy cars. How the fuck are we supposed to sell to these kids? So they find a way to get this like LSD passed out to everybody that makes them like want to actually buy stuff subconsciously, and passes it out throughout there and everything like that. But no, it was actually like the Silk Spectre section was pretty sweet.
That's actually pretty cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you gotta check those out at some point. Like, I just bought like the entire collection for like they had it on sale for like $45, and it was like 30 issues.
It almost seemed like they
came and went so fast.
I think it's one of those things. It's like, but I mean, I didn't hear really anything bad about them, but I think people almost like just turn the other way because Alan Moore didn't have a hand in it. I don't give a fuck. And it's Dave Gibbons is the artist, right?
Yeah.
My thing is like,
poor Dave Gibbons. He's
whenever
I like money. I had to work really hard. Alan put me in a room, and he beat me and threw scripts at me every day.
My only source of light was a flickering candle. No, but my thing is like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think when you read an Alan Moore book, the highlight is it's written by Alan Moore. That being said, though, the artwork is still really good, and the artist, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Well, I'll say this, Dave Gibbons is one of those kind of guys, if I see his name come up, I'm interested. Like, I like his art that much.
He did, what was it? He did some big Mark Millar book, didn't he?
He might have.
Mark Millar book he did?
I think he did the one of Frank Miller, like the Liberty one, and he did,
Thought there was a Mark Millar.
He did.
Wasn't Superior, was it?
I don't know, but he also did the Sinestro Wars with Jeff Johns. Like
He's a big name. He's a big name. But my thing is just kind of like people almost act as if like
it's Alan Moore only.
Yeah, and the thing is, maybe it was his story, and maybe he's adapting it as much as possible. But at the same time, my opinion is like we've both said this a lot on the podcast. When it comes to like writers and artists, even though I think a writer is more likely to sell a name to me, the artist has to do most of the heavy lifting.
Literally, mostly all the heavy lifting. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, we all know writing. It's not that it's a skill, but it's not like a hard skill. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones like I mean, it does take some talent, but you could sit down and write an entire comic issue in fucking like a day. But to draw that will take you all month long.
So that's what kind of annoys me sometimes when I hear people get like anti anything Watchmen that Alan Moore says, or anything. Well, anything not Alan Moore says, but anything anti-Watchmen. If Alan Moore did not have a hand in it, which is like he's not the only guy that worked on it. Want to who's okay with like people doing this other stuff? The other guy that worked on the book.
And here's the sad thing too. There's also there's the letterer and the ink guy and the colorist too. I think. So they never seem to get mentioned.
Yeah.
So which is always sad because I feel like that's even more work than the other two jobs. But whatever. But here's the thing with those was before Watchmen though. It's like, dude, they got some fucking it's not like they just kind of got together like any of the people out like the comic woodworks. They really got like some of the best. I mean, like you got Darwin Cook. He's working on like a ton of them. You got Amanda Connor drawing on some of those. You got the fucking the Kubert boys like on a couple of issues.
Kubert boys at it again.
Kubert boys on it again. They got.
Are they on some Superman stuff? Because I'm trying to remember where I've seen their names.
Yeah, they've been on a lot of Superman stuff. Their dad's like the super famous guy, and he did a lot of Sergeant Rock and old DC type things. And he has that school in New Jersey.
Kubert School.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, I mean, because that name sounds familiar, I think they may have been doing some Action Comics.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, they got tons of, and that's only a couple of them. There's like a bunch of names on there. But every single one of those books is all fucking fantastic. Like, the Rorschach book's amazing. The Silk Spectre one's amazing. The Minutemen one's amazing. The Comedian one's, of course, like totally amazing. The Ozymandias one's fantastic.
Do they do things like do the books just focus primarily on the main people from the movie from the main book, or do they actually kind of go back to okay, here's some stuff on the King Moth, or here's some stuff on the Hangman, or Captain Metropolis, or whoever.
Yeah, they have a bunch of it's on like the olden time stuff. That's what makes it kind of cool because you're getting all these backstories. But then they also have like they have the cool stuff of like, oh, here's Rorschach and fucking Night Owl like out in the 70s fighting crime. Like that's actually one of my favorite sections of it. It's like that sounds so badass.
Like New York 70s.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh, that's a perfect setup right there.
Yeah, it's just those two out fighting crime together. It's like, oh, that's so fucking awesome. And then they got one, and then they go back in time, so it's like you actually get to see a lot more stories of like the Silk Spectre in it, and you get to see a lot more stories with all like the random guys, like Hooded Justice and stuff, who's mostly like just standing in the corner like half the time, and he has a couple moments, but like they don't always go into so much full detail.
He like shames Silk Spectre, like put your clothes on for getting raped. It's all your fault.
Yeah, I wear a hood, goddammit.
It's like that is one of those things where like that part where because like I think they get across in like because like in between the issues they would have those thick like just parts of Hollis Mason's book.
Yeah.
And remember, I want to say that they got across that she was dating like Hooded Justice or something.
Yeah,
but
point.
There's that point, but that part though, after the comedian actually like rapes her, there's that part just like kind of makes you dislike him a little bit, just because like you got raped, gross. Like he doesn't even really feel that bad for her.
Well, he doesn't get raped. She gets like almost raped. And
I thought in the movie, maybe I'm wrong here, and like let's really pinpoint this. But like in the movie, I think it was attempts. In the book, I think it happens because it kind of pans away, and you see her arm, and you see comedian's arm just poking out of the frame, and they have like in the dialogue box.
Maybe if it is, it's like the quickest rape. It's because Hooded Justice busted and like what the fuck? Oh!
Yeah,
I'm Hooded Justice.
He was Scottish in the movie.
Yeah, well, he's still like it sounds like weird, but in the movie, he's one of the only characters that looks kind of goofy. I don't know what it is. Like, in the comic books, you don't think it's like, that's kind of cool looking character. And then the movie, it just looks kind of like this like fat guy with like a tucked in sweatshirt and like a hood.
They all kind of look goofy, I think, because the idea was they were supposed to be
golden agey 1940s.
Golden age, and like Alan Moore was trying to get a point across. Like in real life, these guys wouldn't look good, and like that was something people complained about regarding Night Owl, because they made Night Owl look cool in the movie. Where in the book he was like fat and bloated, didn't look that great in the costume.
Well, even in the movie though, he's still kind of like fat. I mean, he's like an in shape fat guy. He's like, well, he's like the kind of guy who's like, well, I still work out. It doesn't mean I
just enjoy a cheezeburger over here.
Yeah, more often than normal. Like he has that kind of look.
Where in the movie though, it is noticeable. It is noticeable. You know, it's like.
But I still think the guy they chose in the movie, I'm like, that's still like perfect though. I mean, like he still doesn't look like. It's not like he's up there like Stallone ripped or something like that. Like.
I want to say, because like even the books, there's so much you could only get in that movie. I still love that movie. We talked about that last time, but or last time on the last casual episode. But I want to say that like Manhattan says something like they all are just middle-aged men that want to play dress up. Like that was almost how he viewed it. I want to say it was him that said that.
That sounds about right.
And I think that it's one of those things they're trying to get across that like this shit doesn't translate well in reality, but even though it's still kind of like a love letter to superheroes and kind of like critiquing it at the same time. Mm-hmm. But where's I going with this? So that's why, but I think like it was one of those things, like they made all the Golden Age characters look kind of weird, but then they made all the modern characters look cool for the most part. Because Rorschach...
Well, his outfit's like fucking timeless.
Yeah.
Like that character will look cool in 300 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's never going to not look cool.
Exactly. So I'm curious to read that. I do want to check that series out. It
if
just
you
slid
see him,
by
like,
me.
yeah, they came up on Comixology on sale, and I was like, oh fuck, well I gotta get this, and it ended up being like $46, but $46 on sale, like that means it would have normally been like over $100.
I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do with the whole, with this whole like rebirth thing, with the DC universe, because I know it ends with, because I know the first issue of Rebirth or whatever implies we're leading into Watchmen, or the Watchmen are somehow responsible.
Yeah.
I have not read an issue past that. So I'm wondering.
I know. I feel bad too because I got the second issue just looking at me and like, and fucking like flashes like run like you gotta read it, Spencer. You gotta read it
before I disappear. Before people forget me again.
Exactly. And I think it's actually
they're gonna have to call one Wally like you're Wallace, you're Wally. They gotta do something like that to confuse them. Which Wally West? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So they got that kind of going on.
But I'm wondering if it's going to be one of those things where we're going to try and do a monthly thing with Watchmen, or if this is actually continuing. I'm wondering if this is continuing the Watchmen story, or if it's actually doing a thing where it's where they're almost kind of retconning, like because it's almost kind of hard to imagine Watchmen without Rorschach.
I know, it's like, well, really, I look at the end of Watchmen that it just kind of ends and everybody's sort of like, that's supposed to be like the most complete ending to a story. Like the idea of it continuing on sounds kind of goofy. Like what the fuck is going to be like a sitcom next?
I guess
like,
the most...
like the remaining Watchmen?
Well, we're not entirely sure because it ends on the note of like, not everything's going to be perfect. Like maybe the world won't end, but not everything's going to be perfect.
Well, it's just because Rorschach drops his journal off, but he does drop it off at the place where it seems like nobody really likes anyway, so it's like kind of like,
it's gonna be. It's up. It's out there.
It's gonna be like propaganda, but it's not gonna be like, oh, that's just that right wing station. Nobody's gonna fucking listen to that. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like
it's like a toss up for that, and then on top of that,
if you would have dropped it off at CNN.
Well, there's also the part. The thing is like, then they probably like leak it out to like whoever the Democratic candidate was.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, topical by like 3 months ago. By this point, I guess. Shit. We are not far away from President Trump. That almost seems like this. Almost seems like
Watchmen. You mean with like Nixon continuously going?
I mean, I know that it's his first, but it's just like Nixon just always came across as a tyrant. But Trump, he's literally. I guess it's like, I know we may just lose people. I'm going to try and get back to Watchmen in a second here. But it's like, Trump, it's literally like he's putting people in his cabinet that are literally like his buddies and his friends. And it seems like it's almost in a position where he could just like almost line his own pockets. And that sounds like, I know it's people who are right-wing and probably vote for Trump. That literally sounds like just like...
You sound like a bleeding heart liberal.
Yeah, probably sounds like that shit. But just from news stories I've read, it's literally kind of like people say, your kids can't sit on in this meeting. Why? Well, they're not the president of the United States, so they can't really be in the room with us. They can't really be part of the cabinet. This is kind of... And he just seems like, I'll see what the big deal is. You know?
Okay, I got an idea. How about you and you go step outside and my kids can sit there instead?
It's almost coming like across...
Sir, I'm supposed to be here to take notes. No, you're not.
You know, like, I don't know. It's just, I won't try and get into it, but, you know, because it's not Christmas time anymore. But let's try and write off as much of that cheer as we
let's go back to Watchmen, where it's like a nice, peaceful world.
Where
everything's happy and
fixing
it for all of us.
Well, the thing about Oz, well, going back to that though, well, I was going to say, the thing about that is it was like going back to before we go back to Watchmen real quick. It almost does seem like we're going to this weird, alternate, like bizarro world, like welcome to America, and then just that song, "This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween." He's like playing constantly. He changes the national anthem to "Sharp Dressed Man" by ZZ Top. You know,
you get rolled up in a car.
Like, you step out of the airport, it's like Mad Max, but with monster trucks and like a Kid Rock concert's fucking playing. I don't know, just like, I don't know. It's probably not gonna get that bad, but you know.
Then Doc Brown's gonna show up and be like, "Spencer, Donnie, we gotta go back in time. We gotta go save the election of 2016.
Why the fuck you calling us? Why don't you bring like Bernie Sanders and then like, you know, maybe like some like activists of some kind."
He's like, no, in the future, your podcast is huge.
You called it! You called it this exact thing! There's a Kid Rock concert going on! Well, Mad Max shit's happening now.
It's like Doc Brown's just like...
They're literally singing "This is Halloween." I don't know why.
But you predicted it all.
No. But
if you would have not gone to that before Watchmen talk, we would have never got there.
I don't know why the first 5 minutes of Nightmare Before Christmas comes in like, "Welcome to America," you know? Like, anyway, but Watchmen, though, that whole thing, like, what was I saying? It ends on that note. Ozymandias says, like, look, like, this isn't in the movie, but it's in the book. The movie seems like it's kind of tilting more on it can go either way, where the book kind of tilts on...
Like, what the fuck you guys gonna do? Are we done? What the fuck you gonna do?
Yeah.
Force man? Believe it. Like, I'm just gonna sit here. What are you gonna do?
And then where the book is more like, the book kind of like, yeah, this isn't gonna last, because I remember like Manhattan says, look, you created this utopia, but you built a utopia on murder, and that never really pans out all that well. And then he says something to the effect of like, he says it more eloquently than that, and more coded than that. And then Ozymandias turns is like, I did the right thing, didn't I? And then John, I think John's Manhattan, right? John, mm-hmm. Yeah, John just looks at him, says nothing. And you see he had like a globe or some little garden or whatever. All the plants in it die.
Yeah.
So I get a feeling that's foreshadowing that we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're fucked. Fucked. To go back to that.
But yeah.
We'll go back to the fucked thing. Just, all right, there's this guy to backtrack. There's this one dude back at the gym Spencer and I used to go to. Uh-huh. And this guy, he was an awkward guy, and every so often he liked to talk to you for some reason.
He talked to me. Everybody else in the world seemed to fucking hate him. He was nice to me. That's mostly always how things are in life. So many times there's people I meet where it's like, people are like, "Oh, I fucking hate that guy. That guy is such an asshole, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, oh,
I do a podcast with him.
He's nice to me. Yeah, dude, like, that fucking Ryan guy, you wouldn't believe what he did last time he came in.
Well, no, that dude, like, I won't give him the name, but, like, it was, like, so much, like, because that guy was just like, "Oh, fuck this guy." I kind of had that same attitude. I was walking up to you, you were talking to him, and he would always go on, like, some political rant of some kind, and he's just like, "We're fucked," and he does that thing where he's mouthing it, but almost, like, not even whispering it, just
he's probably reading the same magazine that Rorschach's reading.
Like, almost, like, but, like, not even, like, whispering it, like, exhaling, like, "Fucked, fucked, oh, God!" Spreading his hands out. And I'm just like,
that like sounds deep.
It is too early for this. I just walked the other way. Like, I even made eye contact with them and just walked the other way. Like, no.
Generally, gym conversation is not like, "We're fucked."
Fucked.
Gym is supposed to be the most positive place known to mankind, where you only just have happy thoughts of lifting things.
Well, the thing about this dude is, like, this guy, he, like, had some kind of, like, I don't know, there was an accident or some kind of default. So he had a weird walk. His torso was kind of misshapen.
His skull was, like, smashed in.
It looked like he was in an accident at some point. And my thing, that's the funniest thing, not sad to say the funniest thing about it, but it kind of is when it gets down to it. You said that he used to be a big, ripped bodybuilder.
He showed me a picture once. Yeah, he was this huge guy. And, you know, the old-time lifters would tell me stories of like, "Oh, yeah, he would come in. He would bench like 350 plus all the time."
And then, like, something happened to him, which is sad. But the thing is, you were literally telling me, you told me and you were telling other people, and you just created, like, the secret origin for him. That, like, oh yeah, like, he got hit by a train.
And survived.
And that was the thing. I'm like, oh wow, I just, like, we were coming, like, because one time I was in a weird situation, thanks to you, I had to give him a ride home. And we were coming to, like,
I just remember because, like, I pictured that moment all the time because we were like, oh, he's like, can you guys help me take my car home? And I was like, yeah, sure. Hey, Dunigan, why don't you ride with him? And he's like, oh, okay, come on. And I remember he says,
yo, you okay, come on into my car.
And then I like how, like, you turn and you just, like, look at us. I don't know who else was there. It might have been Kyle or something like that. But you're just driving away and looking at us like, you motherfucker.
And then, like, the thing is, like, this is before I knew that you made that thing up. You just for some reason, like, this guy's fucked up. I don't want to ask him.
I feel like if I don't know someone's origin, the writer in me says you must create it.
And he was hit by a train. So, we were ready on a conversation. I almost said, so, about the accident or whatever. Which I did. Like, what accident? Like, I wasn't even, no. But then we were coming to some railroad tracks. I'm just like...
This is gonna have like a non-flashback.
Like, then he's like, he looks at me like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, I don't know, let me just make sure, And then,
you do know to stop on these railroad tracks, like, not on them, but before them, right?
And then, like, it was just like, the thing about this dude is, like, because he was like one of those guys, like, he was a clearly lonely guy, but he just had no social skills. At some point, the guy just, like, I don't think he recognized me, but I was at a gas station. The guy was literally like, I opened the door for him. I don't think he recognized me. He says, okay, thank you. He's like, all right, let's hurry this up now. I don't got time to fuck around. I was like, I just opened the goddamn garage door. I opened the fucking door for you, asshole. I'm sorry, this is probably not interesting at all, but...
it's funny. Well, there's still funny stories about it. Well, here's the thing. The guy, I think, he was always legitimately trying to do the right thing. Like, he was one of the few people that would, like, show up to, like, court meetings and, like, fight the power and all kinds of stuff like that. So he was doing stuff. I think the sad part was that since he was kind of, in a sense, a crippled, everybody thought he was, like, maybe retarded or something like that, so nobody took him serious, and the cops would always, like,
and that would make him bitter towards everybody else.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a sad thing there. But he did do some funny things, too. Like as you said, like, when he was, like, there, and he just, like, had that weird social skills. Or my favorite one was one time he was in the gym, and he was lifting, and he was, like, to get more motivated, there's multiple ways you can go about it. No matter what, if you primarily scream, that always will make you lift more. That is just, it's a proven fact. If you want to lift more, you just
not at Planet Fitness!
No. Well, because they got the lump meter, because that place doesn't want real people lifting weights.
I'll go on that in a second. Go ahead.
That one, I know many people that get thrown out there. But this would get you thrown out of Planet Fitness faster than anything else you could possibly do there. He literally was like, I don't know if he was probably doing, like, just the chest press machine. And he was like, this was his motivational speech. He was all like, titties, big fat titties, yeah, titties, yeah. And like, I mean, he's yelling this out loud, and there's women around and everything too. It's just like, that's what you do at your own house if you're lifting. You don't do that in public.
Well, there's also, like, I remember when we dropped him off.
Big fat titties.
I remember, like, he's one of those guys. He's like one of those guys who are just like, I mean, I guess it's like you kind of only speak from what you know, because he probably didn't have a lot of people to reach out to. So all he could really do is just talk about himself, because not many people he could really interact with or anything. So out of that, he would just be talking about like, oh, then like this one time I was going, because this is when I was talking about moving to San Francisco. He's like, oh, careful about traffic around there. This one time I was driving the
train story.
65 Buick. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then some kid, like, sideswiped me, kept on driving. Like, oh, it's not the train story.
It's like, I think I'm getting close.
And they're like, oh, man, we're going to hear the train story. Then later, I go to talk to you, like, oh, yeah, he didn't get hit by a train. I just assumed he did.
Yeah, I think he was, when he was in San Francisco, he was, like, one of those, like, super activist people and everything was like that.
And he says, like, these kids hit me. And then, like, I get a call. I get the license plate, and I call the guy. He's like, well, my kids were taking my car in there. And I was like... And I hear him yell off the phone like, you hit a 65 Buick, what the fuck? I'm just like, drive. Oh, look, here's your place, dude.
Oh, what do you know?
Then he's just like, oh, you guys want to come in? Sorry, we got shit to do. Okay, I'm going to go lift. Big ass titties.
Okay, that's the sad part. He was a nice guy, but there was just funny qualms about it. I love how this, like, somehow, some way reminded us from Ozymandias, the world's smartest man.
Maybe it's because, like, he might be kind of like... truth be told, if he wasn't like crippled, this guy may have been Rorschach.
Yeah, he probably might have been. That actually is kind of true. I remember for the longest time he kept wanting to do like a podcast with me. It's like, oh yeah, I do one of Ryan. You know, that's enough in the week.
The fat boy.
That one that drove me home that one time. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The one that I was going to take to my rape chamber. No.
Oh, did I say that louder? He didn't hear nothing.
Just like has you like tied up to like some kind of gizmos in there. And
it's like the fucking like exercise machine from Burn After Reading. It's in George Clooney's basement.
He was like, I saw that movie, and then I decided to make my own.
Was inspired.
Except for this one's even worse.
Funny thing, you might, my roommate, actually, his job, going back to Planet Fitness for a second, my roommate actually has a free membership at Planet Fitness.
Do they have Planet Fitness in San Francisco now?
They have a couple of them, yeah.
Wow, they didn't have those back in the day. Those things have just like, they're like spawned up like just super fast.
And he just said like, hey, I got a free membership if you want to go sometime. And I was like, I don't gotta pay. And I really had to think about it. I haven't been around the same time as him, but it's just one of those things like I know I'm gonna get kicked out day one. I'm not one of those people who's like,
yeah,
I'm not one of those dudes.
Where's your 300-pound dumbbells?
I'm not one of those dudes, but at the same time, I know that I don't know.
Just Planet Fitness, just the things about it, like it just bothers me so much for the fact it's like it is literally like the most anti-lifting place known to mankind. It is literally a gym that is made for like. Do you just want to not be surrounded by people that really take this stuff seriously? It just reminds me of like, hey, let's minus out all the serious people. Let's just have a place where like us casual people can go and not have to be, around. I don't know. Maybe it's equivalent of like somebody's like, I want a comic book store that doesn't have nerds in it. Like, I don't know if it's like the same thing like that. Like, or
I just got an image of just like the guy in the local comic store over here, like just chasing out some like the redheaded guy from like The Big Hit with a broom, like you get.
Yeah. Or it's equivalent of almost like, I want to go to Disneyland, but make sure there's no goddamn fucking children there. I do not want to see children being happy whatsoever. It's just kind of like, well, I mean, when you go to Disneyland, you kind of gotta expect kids. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not adult oriented too, but it's like, that's kind of like its main selling point. It wasn't like Walt Disney's like, I'm gonna make a park that has mouses and like all this fun stuff for adults, or else it might be because creepy park.
It's kind of weird, like Dave and Buster's, which is I get what that's supposed to be. It's like there's an open bar and there's an arcade, so it's I guess you can say it's almost like 20-somethings. But it seems weird, not the idea not to have kids there, because you have to be like.
The weird thing is you go to Dave and Buster's and it is just a bunch. It's more. This is what I see.
More kids.
There's a bunch of adults drinking and a bunch of kids playing games. It's like, oh, this is perfect. I can drink my beer. The kid can play arcades. Everything works out.
Yeah, and the ads are always like some like hot 20-somethings, just like playing skee ball or like that pod racing game with the two joysticks.
Oh yeah.
And then like having like cheering, and then it's like It's
not what it is.
It's not. It's literally Chuck E. Cheese with booze.
Yeah, that's what it is at the end of the day. A fun place, but don't get me wrong. But what the fuck was I going with this? Where were we at? I just got totally like.
We were talking on Planet Fitness. We were talking
Planet Fitness. Oh, I remember like Josh, who's been on the podcast only a handful of times or so. But one time, they literally were at Planet Fitness, New York, when he was in the military, and he was with his buddy who was like a little bit more like bigger lifter guy, and they got thrown out because he put 300 pounds on the bench.
Really?
Yeah, and they weren't like trying to be loud or anything like that. When he set it back down, it's fucking 300 pounds. It came down a little bit harder than normal. That's bound to happen. And they're like, oh, no, you got to get out of here. You can't be in here. Or I remember one time, this is another good story too, one of Laura's friends in Los Angeles at a Planet Fitness literally was getting chewed out. God, I can't remember exactly what the reason was, but they had their phone on, like with the camera going the whole time. This lady's like, you got to get out. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. You're being too loud and everything. It's like, oh, I'm just, here. I'm just working out. I'm not doing anything wrong. And I think she was wrongly accusing the person of something or another. And that thing just went on, for like 5 minutes of this rant. This lady just fucking like diving into them like they like the worst scum on earth. Like she's like a fucking like, hall security guard, taking their job too serious. She is literally the Marky Mark's fucking video store owner guy coming after him and big hit, yeah. And they actually took that video and put it up online and everything like that. And then of course that lady got fired and everything like that. But Jesus Christ, it's like that Planet Fitness to me. It's just like. It is, I don't know, I mean, I know why people go there. The people that want to go there, people go like, I just want to walk on a treadmill where nobody's going to judge me, and I don't have to see any of these big people that have all these like special genes and all. It's like I understand like there is a target audience for it, but God, it just seems so douchey and so like it's equivalent of like having a gym. Like I want a gym where no black people are allowed. It's pretty much just racist, but racist against people that are in good shape.
Well, it seems almost kind of like it's just more like we're the middle-aged people who don't want to put any real stress. People that are kind of lying to themselves about, I'm being healthy. Yeah. I did. I rolled around on the squishy ball, and I walked 5 minutes on the treadmill. I'm doing it like there's this one old fuck that used to come to our gym. And he was this old...
Is this Slacks?
What?
Is this Slacks?
Mr. Slacks,
Mr. Slacks in this 15-minute special?
Yeah. Like there's this old fuck that would always kind of like, lumber into the gym. Just this like guy who's in his fucking 80s, come in slacks and a button-up shirt, and then like work out. I know he's an old guy, but he'd work out for like 10, 15 minutes, judge everybody around him, then fucking leave.
And then hand out Bibles on his way out.
Yeah.
And it was like his job. Was like, I hand out Bibles to people.
And he'd have like 15 like anti-Obama bumper stickers on the back of his Ford.
Yeah, and he was like super like judge. You could just see he was that kind of guy that just like looked at you like, what are you looking at, faggot?
Well, there's one time
back in Korea, we stacked up you kook standards. I'm not Asian. He's like, yeah, we didn't care what you were as long as we could stack you up.
Oh, this guy wouldn't hang out with Eastwood. He
wouldn't hang out with Eastwood, but he would be the guy stacking gooks. That's how he would.
I doubt this guy actually got any of them dead.
No, he's probably the guy's like, oh, I'm serving mashed potatoes in the kitchen. Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Eastwood, don't come by and kick me in the nuts again.
No, just that line and like...
And then over time...
And just that line in Gran Torino, just like, I stack fucks like you 7 feet high.
No, that guy was just like, total like douche. But see, I won't say it, because there's other senior citizen guys. There was a guy named like Bob, and he was super cool, and he wore slacks too. But I think that was just
he wore slacks,
but he wasn't. And he was like the guy who was like the oldest guy in the gym, and he would fucking come in and work out for like an hour and everything. It wasn't like he was being super intense or anything like that, but it's still pretty cool to see it. And this is the guy that actually met Colonel Sanders, the real one, back in the day, and he'd tell you all kinds of stories about all these people he met throughout time and so on.
He's like, I was there when the original Minutemen started up.
Yeah, he literally was that guy. But yeah, it's like, that Planet Fitness, though, the idea just to throw people out for that, it just seems so wrong. I mean, I understand, like, it's that sort of thing. It's, obviously, if you're seriously into lifting, you wouldn't go to Planet Fitness. I mean, like, that should be kind of noted.
Well, I don't know. I think in the name, just the name, Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
It's a place dedicated to fitness. What involves fitness? Lifting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the best way? Yeah, and if there's heavy weights involved, like, they're going to be a little bit loud. If you're going to be grunting a little bit, that's normal. It's just that it's such like it just reminds me of like, it's so like a conservative view of like taking fitness and trying to make it like such like a proper like, no, don't grunt. No, don't lift heavy. No, don't do that. It's just, God.
I remember I had like a Lyft driver one time, and he was saying he was only Lyft part-time. He's mainly a personal trainer. And I said, so do you meet up with them personally? Like, well, we go wherever they want to go. Sometimes at their house. Sometimes it's a gym they like. Like, what if we get a Planet Fitness? If I get someone at Planet Fitness, I'm so fucking pissed because I can't do half the shit we need to do if we go to a fucking Planet Fitness.
Funny how that is. See, it just sucks. And it's funny. I've never been to a Planet Fitness in my life, but it's just all the shit you see on it and all the people you talk to about. It's just like, God, talk about the most miserable place on earth.
I just walked by. I just see all this purple and all like this equipment. I'm like, it looks like
too. It's like that's.
It looks like the Grimace's like fuck dungeon.
Yeah, like purple is not the right color for a gym. Actually, they say the best color to have a gym. It's like if you have your own house, is you paint it all red. Paint it all red because you want it to be fucking intense in there and everything like that. Now, you don't want to paint just any room red, though, because if you paint your living room red, you would wonder why you're all pissy all the time.
Or why you want to fuck all the time or something?
Yeah, that too.
Well, there's like actually...
I want to fuck and then I want to punch something's face in.
You probably already know this, but I remember there is obviously like there's certain colors make you interact more of a certain way if you see it a lot more. Like,
that's totally it.
There is a study that like... in Japan, there was this one red light at this business district. It was so bright and so fucking red. This thing had the highest level of suicide rates. And where
that's weird because red mostly doesn't create suicide. Mostly just creates more like
it makes you like more.
Anger.
Well, it's more of like one of those things like it makes you more spur of the moment. It makes you more
passionate, I guess.
Maybe passionate, or maybe passionate, or even maybe like more acting on impulse.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have the red light district. Like, I don't know if I should be here. Then you see all the red, and then you see all the tits and ass everywhere. Like, fuck it, I'm going red. Yeah, exactly. Or why there's so many red neon lights at casinos, or why so many bar signs are red. Just like, fuck it, yeah, I'll have a beer.
Yeah.
So in a high stress business world in Japan.
Yeah.
And then a red light being stressed out of your mind.
Like,
fuck it, today's the day.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. And then there's so that was the one example, and they said they changed after like a whole bunch of suicides over a course of a year. They just slightly changed the hue of it. They just lowered it. No suicides at that spot ever since.
It's funny. It's weird how colors can be. That was like, this sounds like such a weird thing, but Vanilla Ice, like one of the first houses he bought when he like made all his money in the beginning. He's like, I thought it'd be cool. I just paint all the different rooms, all kinds of random ass colors and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I had this one room that's all black and red. I thought it was all super sick and everything like that. And he's like, oh guys, like you be in there. You're like, why am I so angry? Why do I had all these weird emotions? Like, oh, it's a fucking room that was doing it to me.
Well, apparently, I guess, like, I don't remember, I'm going off...
You can trust Vanilla Ice because he's a homemaker.
He has that home and garden show, don't he?
Yeah, that's like his passion is like fucking building houses. It's so fucking weird. He's on a podcast once. It's like, oh.
He's, well, the thing is, what was I going to say regarding colors? Like, this is going off a podcast I heard, like, probably 2 years ago. I think it was Cracked, maybe. And it was like, red makes you a lot more impulsive. That's why you see so many advertisements as red. That's why there's the red light district. That's,
So that Budweiser sign, pretty much all red.
Yeah, that Budweiser, because it's more likely to make, fuck it, I'll have a beer. Fuck it, I'll also buy like a NASCAR number 8 too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a NASCAR Budweiser sign, folks. Anyway, but so
the Coors one's red too. See, look at they're all red.
And Pabst Blue Ribbon.
It's even got red around it. They're like, we got to put red in there somehow.
We're doing this at my. I'm staying at my folks' house. We're doing this podcast at my dad's man cave right now. So, but yeah, no, it's one of those things where blue usually makes you. I think blue might make you.
It's the calm color.
It's the calm color.
The easiest way is to take the Green Lanterns. They explain it all to you nicely.
Well, yellow does not make you like. I don't think yellow makes you scared though. Doesn't yellow?
Yeah, it's the color of fear.
He's yellow.
He's got a yellow belly. Like one of those things. But at the same time, I think you can kind of overcome color. I think colors have an effect, but I think it's also a mindset too. You have to go with.
If you're around it all day, it could make you like.
Yeah, it can definitely have an effect on you. It's not saying it can't, but I also feel like you could also overcome it too.
I thought blue, like a low blue, might make you depressed. I think.
I don't know.
Maybe
about
not.
That. Blue will keep you up at night if it's light. That's why, like, there was a time. Remember they used to sell those stupid like alarm clocks that were like blue. I always think of this because Cisco had one of those fucking alarm clocks. And I remember like we used to spend the night as a kid,
light up the whole room.
Fucking like cover that thing. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking break this alarm clock. It's pissing me off.
Well, there's like another thing I read that like when you're supposed to sleep, you're supposed to sleep in like pitch black.
Yeah, it's supposed to be super black.
Because if there's any amount of light, your hair follicles could sense it, and that releases a certain chemical. And
like, it's daytime.
Yeah, exactly. And you could still fall asleep, but it's sending chemicals to your head saying daytime, get up, daytime, even though you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it could actually, kind of make you, even though you got 8 hours of sleep, make you feel unrest and kind of even like affect you like mentally.
No, yeah, they say that, and it's almost they always say too, and I've done this my entire life, so I don't know if I've like overcome it over time, but. They always say, like, generally watching TV, looking at your phone, looking at the computer, all these actions before you go to bed, because they all generally produce a blue light. And I think TVs have kind of got a little bit better over time. And, certain monitors and stuff like that, you could take, like, your iPad, and they got, like, that nighttime mode on it, where, like, it turns it kind of to, like, a brown-looking hue instead. So it's a little bit, like, not nearly as bad light. But that light going inside your brain makes you go like, oh, it's fucking daytime, instead of making you want to go restful and go to sleep. It's like, in a sense, even like, they always say at the end of the day, it's best to always kind of read a book, read a comic book, not really necessarily a digital one because of the light once again, to go to bed. Now, if you have that mode on your, tablet or whatnot, it can make it better. But that all affects you. But I've been watching the movie every single night since I was like 2 years old. So I think that like it actually... The TV makes me go to bed, but maybe, I don't know, it'd be interesting to take like a month and just go out to a log cabin and fucking only read to go to bed and see what happens.
I've been trying to do that. I've been doing pretty good at it. I've been turning the bed off before I go to sleep. Are
I turn the bed off. Like, what do you have, like a vibrator?
I just roll off the bed. Just go into the fucking hardwood
I roll off the bed and I jump on the TV.
Yeah. Trying something different. I read about it in Health Magazine.
Yeah, it was in Men's Fitness.
Yeah. No, I'll usually turn the TV off now. I mean, before it was one of those things. Like, I'll be 100% honest, and this might sound kind of depressing. One reason, now I'm getting a little older. I'm not really, like, I know I'm still young. I'm going to be 30 in a few weeks, and that kind of trips me out. But I know I'm still young, but you get to that point where you actually realize, oh, wait, I am getting older, you know. Mm-hmm. And I reached that point now when I go to sleep, if I'm just there by myself, what thoughts come to mind is like, will I remember this moment before I'm dying? Will I, just like that kind of contemplating life shit. Like what if there's nothing? What if because I recently I don't really believe in God anymore, and I don't believe in Jesus or any of that. So it's one of those things.
I do believe in Satan.
So if there's one thing you got to take away from this podcast, so I find myself kind of just like trying to go to sleep with all these like
that's the worst thing too is like
self-existential like thoughts and just like, oh my god, I haven't got this done. I need to get up and get this done, but I got to go to work tomorrow. But I got to get this thing done, and then you just I don't know.
And that's just what creates Nam flashbacks. Even if you didn't go to Nam, you'll automatically get a Nam flashback.
Exactly. I'll just remember me and like Billy with like having a bayoneted gun pointing at a kid. Like, he's one of them. He's not one of them. He's one of them.
This sounds so like I know that anybody from Vietnam would say this, but have you ever actually had like a legitimate Nam flashback? And when it happens, it comes from watching like something like Apocalypse Now or something before you go to bed, and you literally have a dream of being in Nam.
No, I actually haven't. I was just taking it to the extreme, but I haven't. I've had we've all had the dream of like being in a war dream or sci-fi dream. But the thing I was going to say real quick, it's literally. My whole thing was put on the television so I have something to distract me from my fucking self-destructive thoughts. That was the whole thing. Like, I could face my demons and try to conquer them alone, or I could put on Sherlock or Archer and just bottle that shit, slide it to the corner, and not think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, I've always had sleep problems. It sounds so weird, but it's like I've never been one of those people that can like just lay down and be like, I'm asleep. Like, you see people, it's like I would love to be able just to lay down and be able to be asleep in like under 5 minutes. That's like the most magical thing to me. Like, maybe this will do the TV. People are like, oh, you fucking idiot. You've been watching the TV since you're 2 years old. You already told me exactly what your problem was.
It's like the cover of the Poltergeist could almost be your, like, autobiography cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Just you as a kid, hands in front of a TV with a bunch of static. Is it a ghost story? No, he just likes the TV.
Well, that's like, I remember there's that scene in Beavis and Butthead Do America, and every single time I see it, I go, oh my god. That's my life right there. Where it shows Beavis and Butthead, and like they're like kids, and they're literally sitting on the couch in front of the TV, and they're like, and they're growing older as it goes on, and literally their entire life is in front of the TV. And I just remember when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, that's me. Oh my god. Like that's not who you want to relate to is Beavis and Butthead. I love Beavis and Butthead, but I don't know if I want to be Beavis and Butthead. But no, this is what I'm like. A lot of times, like what I've come to of like sleep. It's always like the thing. It's like how do you can fall asleep faster and better. And a lot of times, it's the meditation is really like the key thing. So instead of like thinking of like oh god, I gotta do this tomorrow, and oh Jesus, oh that's coming up tomorrow, and oh what if that doesn't pan out? Oh I gotta pay that. Like that's like the worst you can do. But instead, you gotta kind of like start like pushing out those thoughts, and you just kind of do that thing where you're like. It always sounds kind of goofy, but like, you're at that place where it's like, where's a calm place for you? Whereas, for some people it could be a beach, for some people it could be a fucking rock out in the middle of like the Arctic, who knows? You just kind of get to this place, you push all those things out, and I always get more like the Street Fighter thing. I always think of like, it sounds so weird. I picture Ryu fucking like in Street Fighter V series, like fucking charging up for the Hadouken, and you're getting your chi ready and you're releasing out all your bad energy of the day, and I focus on things like that. And that actually does help me fall asleep. And in this period, you can get into meditation, and I try to get down, I try to get deep into like the subconscious area. You got 4 levels of subconscious. Like right now, we're at what they call the beta level. Me and you, beta. We're totally conscious right now, everything like that. The alpha, strangely enough, it should be the other way around, but the way they discovered them was in a different order. But the alpha is actually the second step down. That's when you're like super focused. Like let's say you're like reading a book, and you're at the point where like you don't think of anything else but that book. Or when you're driving and all of a sudden it's like been 20 minutes. You're like, oh fuck, I'm at my destination. I don't even remember how I got here. Like you get so super focused. That's there. And then they say actually children, the reason why children remember super well, like why like when you're a kid you could just remember anything you fucking saw, is because their brainwaves actually stay in that alpha state more than they are in the beta. So they're remembering things like that. And then there's like the theta, which is like the third level down, which it's possible to get down to there too. That's not too hard. You just would have to practice with your meditation. But in there, you can really go in and change around a lot of your body chemistry and everything like that, which once again, this can help with sleep. It can help with all kinds of things like that. I mean, it can help with exercise. It can help with any of your goals in life and anything like that. And then there's actually the fourth level all the way down, which is, what's fucking delta. The delta brain waves. Now that's like one of those ones that would take like, you'd have to become like fucking like a Ryu yogi master to like be able to do that. That would take like, not like a lifetime of dedication, but you would have to put some fucking time to do that. But inside the subconscious area, you could actually, in just the theta levels, you could actually change around. It's interesting, all these things. I read all these things based off like workout books of like how to like, you know, in a sense, work out better and stronger and all this stuff. And since this all kind of ties into what we're doing, fighting crime and fucking Planet Fitness, it is like interesting because you can go into these theta levels, and this is how you can fix like your sleep and everything like that. And sometimes I'll try to do that. I'll try to like meditate myself into this and make everything else go away so that you can focus in and sleep and hopefully fall asleep in under an hour, because a lot of times it takes me forever to fucking fall asleep. But it's easier than having to think about stuff. But the other interesting things is in these theta area, I mean, you can change like the way that you were born and raised. You can fucking change those ideals that like a parent put into you early in life. Like you literally could, if you can, when you can go farther and farther into your subconscious, you can like rewrite your brain chemistry. If you wanted to fucking full on change stuff in there, it's pretty cool, all these different things in there and all these different ways you can kind of go about it.
I will say this is very enlightening, and I do agree with everything you're saying.
It sounds like a lot of work.
No, not even that, not that. I will say that I think if I said this to Spencer 3 years ago, like, that's fucking gay. I got a feeling
there had to be workout involved for me to like, oh, okay, I understand.
You had to say there's weightlifting and there's something masculine involved. Because if you start, because I mean, I see what you're saying. It kind of makes me want to look more into that, because it is one of those things like when now just to dumb down this conversation, because that's what I'm good at for a second. When you're saying you gotta find your beach, and yours is like, I'm just imagining you're like, there's that Corona commercial, find your beach. Yours is just fucking Ryu, just charging up behind
Street Fighter V. That's what I picture when I do that.
With that song, like Street Fighter, it's on a loop.
I always just think that. I always think of the pictures at the end of Street Fighter V where it's like Ken and Ryu and stuff, and it's like
on a motorcycle.
Like, I got you, Ken. Like they're playing
tag in the marketplace or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like what's I gonna say?
But there's like a lot of stuff you can really do in there. I mean, and even just like it was like it was interesting just in the ways of working out, because I've always known it's like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's always talked about it, Bruce Lee's always talked about it, where it's like, you know, when you lift or when you do any of your exercises, you don't just like go through the motions like, I'm doing a push-up, look at me, you know, or like, I'm doing a pull-up, let me get these reps in. It's like, no, you visualize it. It's like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger visualized. Like when I was doing a pull down, it wasn't that I was just pulling the weight. I pictured like I was pulling a mountain up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I pictured when I was doing a curl, it was like I was creating this mountain, and it was all this like visualization stuff, which is all technically mental things. Bruce Lee did the same thing too, all in his stuff. You know, he would mention all these different little things and tactics, but just it is interesting just to see people go kind of deeper and deeper and deeper into it.
I will say that it's regarding that kind of thing. Like I'll say this, like just going to Arnold for a minute. People do often want to try and like pass Arnold off as just some kind of like muscle-bound meathead. But if you actually listen to his weight training tips and his whole philosophy, like if you do this like this many times a day for this many hours, you could actually help out your body with this abdominal strength. Like he has an amazing sense and knowledge of like anatomy and biology.
Well, it's like,
and you kind of need, people want to always like discredit that. So that makes me a little sad when I see him. I mean, it's a steady paycheck. That's why it makes me sad when I see him on a commercial for a new apprentice, but whatever. Regardless, though, that is like those kind of things are like, I'll be honest, I haven't really gone to the gym in like over a year. It's been more just been like things like riding a bike from location to location, and then, you know, just daily stuff, just trying to walk around here and there. But that is a good thing to actually kind of look more into.
Myself, I actually have not been to a gym
You do
in
it all
2
at your
years.
house.
I do it all at my house, and I kind of actually went from I haven't lifted weights in like over a year too.
Really?
No, I have not lifted weights. It's like I kind of got into all these different guys who they're all body weight calisthenics bodybuilder guys, and it's just kind of the almost in a sense the old timey, the way that they did it like in the 1800s. Like really, when it comes down to body weight information, the best stuff comes from like the late 1800s to like the golden age of like the 1940s. In a sense,
so almost kind of like
whatever the Minutemen would be training.
So
as.
like what one piece like striped like man bathing suits, putting their dukes up like that kind of shit.
Those guys had it totally dialed in because what they always said is like once it kind of got about to the 60s or about the 50s and up, in the 50s and 60s and 70s wasn't too bad, but it got to the point that the thing about fitness is you can't really sell fitness over and over and over again because if you wrote it all, it's like it would take up one muscle in fitness to explain to you everything you generally need to know. Now, obviously, you can always go in depth into other things and so on, but for the best part, you could literally hand somebody one book and be, this is all you need to do, and do this over time and progress it in this way, and you will get everything you need. That only fills up one magazine. Now, how do you sell a magazine every single month?
Coming up with new
You have to make up just random.
New...
You just have to make up random stuff because like I was actually flipping through because I have like the Amazon because I haven't read them. I used to read those muscle and fitness magazines, all those ones like religiously. But after a while, after you kind of discover like almost like the deep sensays of like working out, you kind of almost like put those ones aside. It's like these ones are like the trash ones.
Is your big one like I'm guessing your big one's probably Arnold, Bruce Lee, then probably like. Hannibal Mustache Jenkins from 1809 or whatever. 1909.
Yeah, a lot of those. Eugene Sandow. He's like a total classic bodybuilder. John Grimrick, and all these guys. But one of the best books. I consider this my most number one recommended book because I always just read all these different fitness books. Generally, I read them right before I work out. It gets me kind of motivated. Like when I read about people working out, it's like, I gotta fucking work out. It's kind of like watching wrestling. Wrestling's like the most motivated thing ever. You watch these guys, you're like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing sitting here? I gotta go fucking work out.
I gotta go break a chair over someone.
Yeah, goddamn. The best book that I've read out of all these ones, I think is the most simple, straightforward. He's got the best advice, and I just like the way he writes too. There's a guy named Paul Wade, and he's got a book called Convict Conditioning. And I told you before about this one. It's like, if you get a chance, you should buy it. I think you get a physical copy, but it's probably cheaper just to buy it on Kindle. Because a lot of these guys, I think it's like they sort of like not independent authors, but slightly independent authors. Like for some reason, their books are like fucking expensive when they're like in print. And I think it's just because there's just not that many of them. But I
want to say Iggy Pop's book is like $86 in print.
Yes, it's so ridiculous sometimes that can be. But you get it for Kindle for like $8. But this Convict Conditioning one is like. This guy was in prison for like 20 years. All he was just like selling drugs, nothing big, but whatever. In this time period, he learned just all these different things about all the old bodybuilders. And at this time period, this is when they started minusing out weights and things like that. So, he was learning from all these guys that had been in jail for like years that just passed this knowledge on of all these old-fashioned, just regular, working out with free body weight, nothing else, and how to progress and how to get stronger and bigger and all this stuff. In his book, it's simple. It's just, he's got 6 exercises. Push-ups, pull-ups, bridges, handstand push-ups, squats, and leg raises. And there's like a 10-way progression on every single one. So like literally somebody who's 70 years old can do it and work their way up. There's not like it's not like well, don't get over there and do a one-handed handstand push-up right now. Fucking do it. Do it. No, he wants you to work real slowly up, and it's got like. Just the perfect amount of information, and just the way he writes it simple. He's not afraid to say certain things.
You should probably throw that one in the Amazon,
yeah, I literally, I kid you not, out of all the books, I've read a ton of really good ones, but this is one of those ones that's just like, if I had to pass one book on to somebody, I'd be like, dude, try this out. This is all you tactically need. And it's great. It's like, you need one object. You just need something to hang from. So, a door pull-up bar is really, at the end of the day, the only thing that anybody needs for fitness. You don't, unless you want to be like, in a sense, like a power lifter and like compete, you really don't need like weights. You don't really need all these different things. You don't need a gym. You don't need anything. You just need like the world around you and how simple it can be.
I feel like a lot of people, this doesn't just apply to fitness. This could apply to anything. I feel like a lot of people almost, they think, well, once I get this particular tool, then it'll make it a lot more easier and I will do it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
When to a certain extent, it could still just be procrastinating. Like, yeah, that tool might make it easier, but I'm not talking about fitness in particular. I just mean anything in general. Like, because, I'm not going to lie, there's a period where I was thinking, I need this particular kind of iPad or this particular kind of tablet to get this thing done.
Yeah, you
for
realize...
drawing. Then I realized... No, I don't actually. That makes it easier. What I really could do is I could just I could draw it out, sketch it out, take a picture with my smartphone, upload it to the computer, and then trace it over digitally.
Yeah, it might it might take you 10 seconds longer to do it that way, but yeah, you don't. A lot of times, technology sometimes can get in the way. It's not that technology is not good,
or it just makes you lazy. It makes you too reliant.
Yeah, sometimes it is best to go primal and go simple. And it's like that's how I kind of look at with working out. It's like you just want to get it back. It's like you can do a push-up anywhere. And you don't need anything else but a push-up.
I sometimes myself, because I'm almost talking to myself right there, because I guess for me, it's like if I feel like this is so shitty, but I feel like if I'm spending money on it, that more likely is going to motivate me to do it. Because because when I went to the gym, when I was going to the gym, we were telling stories and joking about earlier. That made me go to the gym a lot more. That made me work out a lot more. And now that I'm not going to the gym, I don't feel as much of this urge to
work out.
Because I know I'm not wasting any money. Not wasting money, but throwing money down.
You're like, I'm going to fucking use this. It's like, buying a season pass somewhere. It's like you feel like you got to use it.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people actually have a hard time working at home. Like, I know that I'm one of the few people that, like, I'm very motivated when I'm at home. Like, I can work from home, I can work out from home, I can do anything from home. In fact, I actually prefer that more than, like, a lot of other things.
I guess I just get really relaxed myself at home. So
yeah, I know that's, like, what a lot of people have is they get too relaxed and things like that. And, I mean, the only downfall it's not that you need anybody to work out with, but after a while there is that kind of like, man, well, it's kind of nice working out with somebody else. Like, you do, that's about the only thing you kind of miss.
I will be honest. This may be every episode that we do in person. We always tend to get nostalgic. 'Cause I'm in town, but at least I get nostalgic. But like I just want you to fucking leave.
Yeah, when's your fucking ride coming?
No, but like it's one of those things. Like I'll be honest, I get kind of it's weird. Like what nostalgia can almost do because I'm almost getting kind of nostalgic thinking about when we were going to that gym, even though I was kind of a dude kept on bouncing up the prices for it was kind of more expensive than what it needed to be,
but not repairing any of the gym equipment.
And there would be the occasional like white dude, flat bill hat, kind of doesn't have a sleeve yet, but he's trying to build up a sleeve.
Yeah, he's got a couple tattoos.
And then kind of like between sets, he would almost stop and almost kind of like make these freestyle rap motions, like trying to enjoy how cool he looks in the fucking mirror, while his girlfriend sits down at the fucking waiting room.
That guy, even though that guy was like he was
probably nice. He was nice.
Poster boy. Dude, he was like one of the nicest guys. I kid you not, though. That guy was like, he was the guy that came in the gym and broke 9 out of 10 rules like in his first day. Like I remember because he goes up there and he's like. He's blasting this rap music and he's singing out loud to me, like he's like, yeah, he's singing out loud and everything like that. And yeah, he's got the fucking flat bill on. He's got his like.
But a white dude in a flat bill. It's no one else. Just a white dude in a flat bill cap just annoys me.
I kid you not, that guy was like the most fucking friendliest guy in the world. But I will say, like, there was sort of like that.
At a distance,
you're
easy
like,
to hate.
God, this guy's gonna be such a douche. And then it turns out, no, he wasn't. So I guess
there is that thing. I think it's easier like. To just kind of like hate from a distance, you know what I mean? But then when you actually bump into him, and you're like, oh, that is a person. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. He broke some. Maybe he didn't put things back or something. He did a handful of other things. It's just like, dude, what the fuck? like he never had been in public before.
They go, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, but he was super friendly about it. He was like,
my bad, bro. Let's go get a beer.
Yeah.
I'm buying. Like, really? Yeah. Okay, bro.
Yeah, he's like, jump in my jet. You have a jet? Yeah. Just takes on up.
Then like lands down on top of someone. It's like, you just landed on top of my car. Dude, I'm sorry. I'll pay for that.
Yeah. But it is kind of that thing. Like, I do kind of miss like almost like the gym camaraderie. There was something really fun about that. And it is that sort of thing that I feel like it sounds so weird, but the second that you're out of like high school, you kind of realize that you were like given this, like America has given you this social endeavor that you didn't really think much of for the last 12 years. But they gave you a place where not only can you meet other people, you have a place you can hang out and like do things and so on. And then the second you're out there, you're like, oh fuck.
How did I do this shit again?
Where do I go to? America always just provided. Now where do I have to go to meet people or talk to people? It sounds so goofy and weird. But it was like you go to a gym, you're like, oh, well, this is kind of It's this place you go and you hang out and you get to talk to people and you don't really have to like go home and hang out with them later on. You can just see them here and there and you feel like you're kind of friends, though you're really just more like acquaintances. Like, yeah, this is perfect. Makes up for that.
That makes sense right there. I mean, for me, it's one of those things like I'm thinking back, like, cause since I moved out of Sonora, it's been kind of harder to meet people. And I think I've been doing the math. I'm like, I think it's maybe... I'm
get a gym membership at Crunch, bro.
I gotta get a gym membership, yeah.
Crunch was actually kind of a cool gym there.
But is it ran by Booking Woodbine from Big Hit?
That's
his character's name.
Yeah, I know. That'd be pretty sweet.
You get free samples of hand moisturizer as you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
I used to go to Crunch.
Like, are you straight jacking?
Yeah. No, Crunch is in San Francisco. They got 3 of them there, but they got the one that I used to go to on Van Ness, and I remember Andreas from Estonia.
Yeah.
I would use his roommate's Crunch card to get inside there, and his name was Heinrich or whatever, but his picture looked close enough to me, so it's here's me and Andreas, and I'm Heinrich now going in, and that gym was 5 stories tall. And it had a climbing wall that literally went up the whole way. And then you had your different levels. They probably had the gay cardio room that nobody needs. And then they had your weights and all your other stuff and showers and so on. And then right next to it's the fucking AMC movie theater. So you got everything in one. Where do you need to go?
Oh, yeah. Go catch a flick after the
So you can go work out and watch a movie. My 2 favorite things.
Well, I was going to say, it's almost as but you're saying there's that whole economy of just meeting people.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of I need to get a gym membership or something, because it is almost kind of hard. You kind of forget, all right, I'm not taking classes back in college right now. So it almost is.
Because college kind of makes up for it.
Going to the gym. So
I know for some people work does, but I think that only really works generally.
Depending on the people.
Yeah, it depends on the people. And the downfall is a job is you could go to work at a job, but you actually might have nothing in common with the people you're with. That's a lot of times very common. I mean, if everybody's working let's just say you're all working at fucking Pixar, well, you probably all have something in common then. You know what I mean?
Be the one guy just
if you're the one guy,
hate cartoons. I'm just really good at it.
Yeah, my dad forced me into this job.
I wanted to go into football, but he said no son of mine is going to be playing sports.
Yeah. But
here's a fucking pencil, pussy.
Yeah, so draw a little bitch. But no, it's one of those ones, you have that to kind of do there. But for the most part, I think a lot of people's jobs, say, if you're a creative person and you're at a blue-collar job, you're most likely not going to have anything in common with these people here.
At my day job, surprising amount, there's a lot of people actually, it's more it's more than anything, just because it's, here, it's just small town, but the Bay Area is such kind of a big place that everyone's spread apart. So you got people literally coming in to work on the BART or whatever. So it's I did make a lot of friends through that. It kind of trips me out when I look at my Facebook feed and I'll see I have maybe 20 friends in common with you, and then 47 common friends in common with somebody I work with. But then I'm we hardly ever hang out though. It's just because of fucking distance and everything. It almost takes a week planning for us to
it's
everyone want to get together for a beer? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's almost too much effort and stuff there.
So I think it's also just a geographical thing, and also yeah. But no, I'm not trying to go too sad.
So sad.
So sad. This is my therapy. He's this is my therapy session episode. But no, I just need a gym membership or something. But
yeah, well, it's that. That's the thing. It's at the end, the simple conclusion is you don't. To work out, you need absolutely nothing except for something to hang from. Generally, some type of pull-up bar, and generally, the door one's the best one. It's $20. Fits generally in most doors, unless you have a house like mine, and yeah, works great. But the one that makes the gym sort of nice, it's not necessarily the machines and all that stuff. It's just kind of sometimes it is kind of nice to talk to some people though. Even if something that always bothered me about going to a gym, doesn't matter where I go to a gym in the entire world, it's I'm always the guy all my buddies will not be bothered whatsoever when they work out. I don't know why it is like that, but I'll always be the guy that gets the random conversation people that come up to me and want to talk and tell me their life story.
Not the gym, but other places. I mentioned this before, in earlier episodes of the show, when I'd be working on something at before I had Wi-Fi where I lived, I have to go to a coffee shop and be working on back when we were working on the first episode of Wallaby, or when I was working on that great comic book I was making at the time. I would literally have people walking up saying, have headphones on, not making eye contact, oh, what are you working on here? I'm just working on this thing. Oh, well, you look like an artistic fellow. My uncle is an artistic fellow. He's from New York. Let me tell you about New York back in the 70s. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is what the guy with headphones that's facing his computer wants to hear right now.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the main reasons why.
I'm saying, I'm so lonely.
Well, fuck that guy wants to talk to me and tell me his life story.
Yeah. It's all about me, not you.
But no, I don't know. I think that's why I don't like the idea of working in public. I just don't want to be disturbed. Like,
I get that. Yeah.
I don't, and it's even that is kind of nice about working out too at home. It's like you don't have nobody's gonna come bother you. You're never gonna have somebody. It's like, oh, let me tell you this, and you almost want to like sit them down like the rules. Like, no. You can talk to me between sets. When I'm working out, shut the fuck up. Like, literally, do not talk to me when I'm working out. Like, that's when you stop. The conversation can resume the second that we're not there. And you always feel like a dick saying that, but sometimes like you got to lay down the law.
Have you actually had to do that before?
No, I've told people before, like, oh, hold on.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll just be like, well, let me do my set. Mostly they're smart enough to know.
I've literally had to tell the dude, like, dude, look, I understand, but I really got a lot I gotta get done here. I'm like, oh, you're working. I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when a dude has a fucking headphones on and fucking, something in his hand.
Yeah, go talk to the guy playing fucking, like, World of Warcraft over there. He'll probably want to talk to you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy look gay. Well, yes, but thank you for the 90s representation of that, but yeah. I don't know. It's one of those ones. There is something special about the gym, as long as it's not Plant Fitness. I think that's the moral of the story. And we all need to train to become Ozymandias.
Need to play. We should all just look like douchebags from '80s like ski films.
Well, it's kind of weird because Ozymandias is probably like him and the comedian are my two favorite characters. But I will say Ozymandias is not dressed. He has like the least coolest dress code.
He does, yeah.
Like Rorschach's. I think him and the comedian are dressed the coolest. Like they have the timeless outfits. Mm-hmm. But Ozymandias just has he has the most stupidest outfit, but he's like the coolest character.
Plus, they make the smartest guy like the fastest, like basically the strongest guy as all the regular humans go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, well, that's a good place to leave off with. That's all kinds of fun talk. A little bit different than normal, but that's okay. Make sure to check out oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, and more. Until then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. And if you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. Won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to Old Man Orange.